Good morning to all. It's my proud privilege to welcome Professor Mr. Ranganathan, Coordinator 52, Department of History, Loyola College. We are very much excited to have you, sir, in our midst. What Prolife Forum thinks today is what college thinks tomorrow. So on behalf of Prolife Forum, I extend you a hearty welcome, sir. I'm so delighted to introduce our chief guest of the day, Professor Mr. Ranganathan, Loyola College. I don't have much words, to introduce our chief guest. He's well-known, popular figure in our college campus. Being your, my dear students, being your first year, you may not have known about him. You would have known about him coming, coming academic year. He's a man of context, very humble person. He used to help the student community. He won't show any partiality, the student who belongs to our department, not like that. So he is the one who helps the student always. He is always guiding the activities of our pro-life club and motivates us in a great deal, not only for this academic year, always he is supporting me. I extend a warm welcome to you, sir.
So, good morning to all.
Yeah, I personally extend hearty welcome to all the officials, professors who have come to here to be part of this special lecture. So I'm also welcoming the students from the Prolife Forum and other departments. So I once again welcome one and all present here and get ready for an intellectual treat from our chief guest, Professor Mr. Ranganathan. So now over to Professor Ranganathan, sir.
So, good morning. So, at the outset, let me thank Dr. Xavier, my colleague in the Department of History, who's an energetic gentleman in our department, always positive, and he carries that vibe, positive vibes, always, and that's why he is in pro-life. He's an apt person to be with pro-life. I've been watching his activities now for the past 2 years. His association with the pro-life, his commitment with the pro-life, his enthusiasm, his attachment, so many things. I could see that. Always, it talks about pro-life in the department. He's a well-known teacher in our department, very committed and well-known gentleman. Thank you, sir. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. That too on Sunday. And,
thank you, sir. Thank you.
And I also tell Dr. Xavier, we were discussing, what I should do and what I can, talk about. And there we arrived to a conclusion that maybe I can talk about tourism with reference to youth tourism, because many of us are not aware exactly what is this youth tourism. In India, tourism is an accident, not an incident. In other countries, tourism is an incident. They plan, every year they plan meticulously. But whereas in India, it is an accident but not an incident. That is quite unfortunate in India. And therefore, Dr. Xavier, in fact, advised me that you should give me a talk on tourism. I immediately agreed. I know, something. I little bit I know about tourism, so I thought, let me take an attempt, to talk about youth tourism and its importance. I would say that youth tourism is a key to progress, a key to stability, and a key to development. Before I, go to tourism, let me give you, some introduction about, the importance of education. Because without education, you can't talk about youth tourism in today's world, in today's scenario. And you all know that it is, let me tell you, the purpose of education is that not to make careers. We are here to make minds. That's what Dr. Xavier is doing here. We are not here to design your career. We can't design your career, but we can make your mind. That is very important. Making a mind is very important. That is one of the purpose of education, is to make minds, but not, the careers. and we are here to give you some kind of learning. In fact, a learning where you could see that the training of the mind to think independently. Thinking again is a power again, not every one has that power. Thinking is a power. To think it in a right sense, you need that a proper training, and you have to learn in a proper sense. That is what the training is all about. The learning is all about. And therefore I in fact believe that I always believe that education is something. It is something, a passport to development. I always that insist to my student friends that education is a passport to freedom. And not only a passport to freedom. Just imagine, if you want to go around the world, if you want to visit countries, or if you want to develop whatever you want to do in today's world, you can't do this without education. Education is a magic. Education is it is a magic, and it is a weapon. In fact, with that weapon, that you can develop so much. Wherever you go, whatever you do, right, with education you can do wonderful things. And that is the beauty of education. Again, it is a magic, and it is a weapon. With this weapon, with this weapon, you can do a lot of magic in your life. Without that, it's quite impossible. And then not only that, you see the Loyola education, for example, our Jesuit pedagogy, you see, and Dr. Xavier is always insisting that students should be that properly trained, because they are our future India, and they are our future world. And you all must be knowing that I would say that education is a vaccine, in fact, to many problems and issues. It is a vaccine. It is a vaccine to violence. It is not simply you receive you receive facts, and after understanding facts you get degree and leave the campus. That is not the way. In fact, by receiving education, I would say it is a vaccine to violence, and you become enlightened. You become ignited. When you get ignited and enlightened, you see that it is a form of vaccine to violence. And today you see what all happening, and you could see that only with education you can do this. The point here is that you can disseminate. See, with the advancement of knowledge, what you can do is, right, you can disseminate the truth to the people. That is the point here. And it is always there is the long understanding is that the education gives you the foundation for a better future, always for a better future. And that is the beauty of education, and that's what we are doing it. And therefore it is not only gives you the better future, it prepares you for better life. And it is something key to the future, I have said. And it is a passport to development. And it's all about education. Becoming is better than being. That is a nice statement. Becoming is better than being. And therefore, with all this, you understand the importance of education. Without education, that's quite impossible in today's world. And you all must be knowing that Yusuf Malala, who said, "Give me one pen, one school, one teacher to change the world." And that is the power of the education. In today's world, you see that give me one pen, one school, one teacher to change the world. And that is the the power of education. And today all over the world, you see education has been given importance by all the countries, irrespective of first world, second world, and third world. And that is what education is all about. As I said, it is a magic. It is a weapon. It is a passport, and it can give you a better future, and it can give you that a very, very prosperous life. That is all about the education. So once you receive, education, the thing is that, as I said, in India, tourism is not an, it is an accident, but not an incident. Because the nature teaches you what your mother cannot, what my mother cannot. That is the power of nature. And therefore, you see that that youth are, you see the youth population in our country again. It's a sizable population in this country, and you see that the youth all over the world, they are not, youth are not useless, but they are used less. They are used less in every country. Not only India, everywhere you see that youth are not useless, but they are used less. And that is the power of the young people, the youth. And therefore, you see that how tourism can contribute, how tourism can that develop a nation, and how tourism can increase, and how tourism can that teach you all about tolerance, or it can also teach you all about fellowship. Very important. It talks about friendship, fellowship. It talks about tolerance. These are the main things where you learn when you visit a number of countries. Visiting countries means you visit, you learn new culture. If you visit one country, you see, you know people better. So for which you have to visit number of countries, number of states in India. Visit India first. Visit all the states in this country. I would always say that introduce India to Indians. That is very important. Introduce India to Indians. It's such a great land India is. It is a great land, a Dharma Bhumi, a Karma Bhumi, where we want to know all about this great country called India. And thereby, you all must take an attempt, where you all should visit India first, understand India first, and then visit other countries, so you know the world better. And you see, youth tourism again is one prominent tourism among many other types of tourism. Say, like there are many types of tourism like social tourism, cultural tourism, medical tourism, environmental tourism, food tourism, dark tourism, adventure tourism. There are so many tourism. Among the different types of tourism, one such type is the youth tourism, which is very, very important. And all the governments and all the that institutions and associations today they are talking about the youth tourism, because if you want to make if you want to if you want to make a future India better, you have to make people travel, and you have to make people students to understand, young people to understand the beauty of the world. And for which that many countries and associations, institutions and organizations are making that big attempt in order to promote youth tourism right in different parts of the world, and India is not an exception. And India also is doing joined that in that group, and we are also doing extremely well in the field of youth tourism. To go further, you all know that today you see in the era of challenges today, full of challenges. You see, from 2019 onwards, you could see, from 2020 onwards, you could see the changes again. You could see the era of challenge again, full of challenges for the tourism industry. And many sectors, that totally, like any other sector, that the tourism also, was very much, that, disturbed, was very much, that the entire tourism industry was destroyed by this, pandemic, which in 2020. And that's why I said, it's a full of challenges, that, and where you see it in fact, the tourism, in fact, the young people, the youth tourism, in fact, is something, a new market segment, and where it's a segment where it can bring a change and innovation. Because when young people visit a country, when young people understand about tourism, and what the result is that it brings you a change and innovation, right? And that is very important. That won't come if you sit in one place. You have to visit places. Travel makes men wise, and travel makes men wise. It not only makes you wise, it gives you and you become that something that a source of change again. You become a source of change, and you become a source of innovation. And that is important, right? The innovation comes, the change comes only when you visit, that number of countries. And thereby, you people have to visit number of you say India or foreign countries, that you have to visit, right, which gives you a change and innovation. And there are, that you see that today, people are talking about what is this youth tourism? Who can travel? Who are they? When I say youth tourism, right? Who are they? To whom we are talking about? What do you mean by youth tourism? There are many reports about youth tourism, And one such report says that people, young people between the age of 15 and 29, they are called as youth, and they alone are that fit to travel. When they travel, that is called as youth tourism. But they have to travel, without a parent or a guardian. That is very important. When you go with your family, that is a family tourism. It's called VFR tourism, visiting friends and relatives. But when you go with your friends, between the age of 15 to 29, without a parent or a guardian, and that particular, that group is called as, youth tourism. And by visiting, such places, by going with your friends, by going with, with your group, what happens is that you construct a new experience. You construct new experience, an experience, right, where you in fact learn a new culture which in fact gives you a new learning opportunities. It gives you learning opportunity again and again, because when you go as a stranger and you come back as a friend to any country for that matter, you go as a stranger but you come back as a friend. So what happens is you learn a lot. Your learning opportunities became, that, very much. When you learn so much, when you benefit so much, maybe formally or informally, in an unknown environment. This is again a very important. In an unknown environment. In an unknown environment from your normal, life, if you're able to, visit an unknown environment different from your normal place, where you experience, you get an overall experience, you get a pulsating experience, you get a very, that very exciting experience, because that you are exposed to new culture, and not only that, you are learning so much, and all your learning gives you a new experience, and that resulted in, in having a new culture, in fact. And thereby when you come back, that you come back with a new, that intention, with a new ideology, with a new pattern of thinking, and with a new, that vision, in fact, you come back to your hometown. And that's what I said, change and innovation. Youth tourism gives you change and innovation. So this experience you have to know, for to gain such experience, to gain such exciting experience, and you have to visit number of places. That even though there are challenges, even though there are turmoils, even though there are disturbances, even though there are restrictions and difficulties, but one should not hesitate to visit countries, and the places where it all gives you, that a panoramic experience, and thereby you understand, that what is this youth tourism all about. So you all may ask, what is that? You said, okay, youth tourism is this, but what are the benefits one can create? What I can, get? As I said, the first thing is that you get change and innovation. Mentally and physically, you see that a tremendous amount of change, mentally, because you live in your own world. When you visit number of countries, that you are exposed to other cultures, to other people, to other lifestyles, what not. By getting exposed to such, that in new places, that you learn a lot. By learning a lot, right, you come back, right, with a lot of, that you learn how to, what exactly is this tolerance. Young people have to learn that. And thereby what happens is that you will have the power, of learning when you visit places where what happens is that, you learn a lot. And you are able to connect yourself with the people. One significant point here is you are able to connect yourself with the people, with the country, with the new culture, with a new lifestyle, with a new pattern of thinking, so on and so forth. So you're able to connect. That itself is, I would say, is a big achievement. When you're able to get, that, connected to a people and to a society, you become a new man, and you learn a lot. You refresh your mind again and again by visiting number of countries. You see that you refresh your mind. You have to refresh your mind again and again. Otherwise, mind goes rusty. So what happens, right? You have to, this particular, that connecting, getting connected is very, very important. And therefore, the learning comes, that, and it gives you, not only that learning connect, it gives you, that career development and self-development. My dear friends, please understand, when you visit, places, right, it will give you a career development. Who knows what? The world is waiting for you. Have that in mind, that the world is waiting for you. You can, that's what I said, change and innovation, right? In my beginning, I said, no, youth tourism can give you change and innovation. What is that innovation and what is that change? This is what I'm referring to, the career development. It is not, be an entrepreneur, that be an entrepreneur. And you be the giver, of job. To be that, that you have to visit, you be a part of youth tourism. When you are when you are going to be a part of youth tourism, that you in fact, get a career development and a self-development, which is very important. Both are very important, pragmatic, realistic, and that where you could see, you not only you get career development, you get self-development too, and you gain immense knowledge. You gain immense knowledge. When you gain immense knowledge, your level of tolerance also goes up. The tolerance level is very important, my dear student friends. India is, a dharma bhumi, a karma bhumi, and India has 5,000 years of history. 5,000 years of history, Indian history is. What a, fabulous history we have. What a fabulous history, and what a glorious history we have. The wonder that was India, the splendor that was India, the grandeur that was India. And here you have to understand history. You may be in different disciplines in our college, but know little bit history about our country. Knowing our country is a pleasure. It may be any period for that matter, but know something about history of this great country called India. You must know. As a history professor, I would urge, I would request, I would appeal everyone to know little bit about history about India, which is very, very important in today's context. So youth tourism, as I said, it gives you a career development, self-development, and the knowledge is very important. Knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. You can't, get all knowledge in a book. You can't find that. There are so many, information which are available, outside. And one has to travel. If you travel, right, you gain, that immense knowledge. You gain abundant knowledge. And there, that you create your own world. Innovation comes, changes comes, learning comes, career development comes, self-development comes, whatnot. It gives you a different career, and it will give you a different perspective on the world. That is all about, this youth tourism all about. It's, that tourism again is again it's a growing industry in today's world. It is the fastest growing segment in today's world. And today, young tourists, that is youth tourists, are the trendsetters, and you people are the trendsetters today. And you are the pioneers in exploring tourism for new markets. Wherever you go, you people have a different way of visiting, and you people have a different taste. And thereby, what happens is that you explore tourism and you create a new segment of markets. And youth tourism is something, a trend setting all over the world. Setting a new trend all over the world, and the pioneers in tourism all over, again and again. I would say, visiting places and visiting, people, which is, I would say that, which is very much, economically significant. Economically very significant. Culturally strong, intellectually amazing. And that's what we want, that's what we are looking for. And youth tourism gives you an abundant choice to grow again and again. And that is the way in which, right, one has to understand about tourism, that in a right sense. And the people are talking about the tourism, and the people are, tourism is all about, right, you see, it is, to move, to stay, to shop, to entertain. These are the 4 types of tourism: moving tourism, staying tourism, shopping tourism, and entertainment tourism. These are the 4 types of tourism, which is, where we are, doing this. 4 types of tourism in today's world: to move, to stay, to shop, and to entertain. Why I have to travel? It is to move, to stay, and to shop, and to entertain. These are the four pillars of tourism in today's world. The United Nations has defined tourism in such a way that it is that tourism is this, and tourism can do a lot of things. It gives you. You may ask, what is this youth tourism and what is this tourism all about? It gives you, that a revenue for a country, any country for that matter. It gives a revenue. The immediate result is that it gives you a revenue for a country. It not only gives a revenue, that it gives you, that employment opportunities. You look at countries like India, where tourism, that we promote just for the sake of, the job opportunities. It gives you a white collar job, and where you see that opportunities are unlimited, and India is a potential place where tourism is promoted, where opportunities are created again and again in the name of tourism. And therefore, with all this, you understand, it gives revenue, it gives employment, and very importantly, it alleviates poverty from every country. It alleviates poverty, and there is no doubt about it. It alleviates poverty. So for all these reasonable reasons, tourism is promoted all over the world. So to end my talk, that I wrote something on tourism a year back. Let me have the privilege and the honor to read this. Hope you people find it interesting. I said the caption of that article is the beauty of tourism. I would request everyone to listen to this, summary. Travail is travel, tourness is tourism, tourism is happiness, happiness is life. Be and make, be and make. Knowledge destroys fear. From holy days to holidays, where is God? Here is God. Pleasure, leisure, and treasure. Excitement, enlightenment, and contentment. From bullock cart to Boeing, moving, driving, diving, and going. Departure, arrival, visa, passport, immigration, package tour. World with ease, world with ease. Dream, dream, and dream. The stories and fictions of world. Beginning is everything. The Great Wall of China, Christ the Redeemer in Rio, Machu Picchu in Peru, Chichen Itza, Roman Colosseum, Taj in India, Petra in Jordan, seven wonders of tourism. The world is not enough. The world is not enough. Searching and researching, identifying and beaming, attaching and detaching, motions and emotions, belief and relief, man above all to prove immortality. Man above all to prove immortality. Man, the architect of the world. Man, the architect of the world. Tourism is a magic. Tourism is a magic of moments and movements. The wonder that was India, the splendor that was India. Ceremonies, rituals, mantras, and tantras. So spiritual tourism. Religion is the manifestation of God. So religious tourism. Sumptuous food and dishes of food tourism. Mocktails and cocktails of wine tourism. To rest, recreate, and relax. Sun, sand, and surf tourism. Moving, staying, and entertaining. The pillars of tourism. Air is tourism. Air is tourism. World is a book. Read many and many and many. Burn the past, turn the page. Burn the past, turn the page. Sun is big, moon is small. War begets war. So dark tourism. From candlelight to satellite. So space tourism. Two is a company, three is a crowd. So mass tourism. Pro-poor tourism. Village tourism. Eco-tourism. Sports tourism. Fashion tourism. Winter tourism. Rain tourism. Medical tourism. Historical tourism. Enchanting India. Discovery India. Incredible India. Shining India. The effects and side effects of tourism. Come as a stranger, go as a friend. Break up is wake up. Leave with no excuses and regrets. Tourism is life, and life is happiness. Happiness is the only path. I hope you all, understood in the right sense. And therefore, understanding is an art. I'll end with this sentence. Understanding is an art. Understand better. But not everyone is an artist. Understanding is an art, but not everyone is an artist. So I wish you all the best. Thank you so much for joining today. Wish you all the best. Thank you so much. Over to Dr.
Thank,
Xavier.
yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you for your enlightening and powerful speech on the tourism. I hope that the students would understand on the tourism, what is tourism, what type it has, you know, just I appreciate your lecture, no, and felt as if you were speaking directly to us, even though it is, it is conducting to on virtual mode. So please accept our thanks for a great presentation.
Thank you
And
so much, Dr. Xavier. Thanks for the
and with
opportunity
that,
provided.
yeah,
Really
yeah,
glad
yeah.
to
Once
make
again,
this.
thank you for your stimulating speech among
Thank you
us.
so much, sir. I'm really
Thank
honored by
you.
your words. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Have a fabulous Sunday. Thank you so much and see you tomorrow. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you, my dear student
Yes.
friends. Thank you all for
Then,
joining.
I will call Srini to say the vote of thanks.
Moment one and all. This is on behalf of Dennis, Roller College, Bicom, and the entire family of the institution. First of all, of my sincere thanks to Almighty God for making this today event a grand success. For His blessings and grace, we are able to make the event if better. And thanks to the other dignitaries on behalf of my institution and club, I give my heartful and vote of thanks to our chief guest, Silverath, Department of History, who has spent this precious time and gracious association. Today, we had the opportunity to hear our thoughts, and this is definitely encouraging us in our future events. Your thoughts have enlightened our minds and shown a new path. Thank you, sir, for allowing the
Thank you, sir.
occasion and sharing the
Thank you.
opinions today. And I thank our and I thank our coordinator, Dr. Xavier, for making this event establishing this event a grand success. And I thank all the students who participated and make this event a grand way. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Everyone stand for uh, national anthem.
गणमन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उज्जल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगल दायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Thank you all. Uh,
Thank you, sir.
students.